Welcome, Mark Love.
Well, thank you, Mandy. Always
M-
good to see you.
Mark is going to be one of our 53 authors at the Festival of Books and Creativity on June 29th in Novi, Michigan. So, Mark, you have 10 ish books. What number is that at now?
I'm at 10 books of my own, and I have a novella that's included in an anthology that I may still have some copies of that available when we get to June, but that's a little different for me. But yes, I have 10 books, two different series that I write, and I've also got a couple of standalone stories that somehow got through the system. So,
Well, tell us about that. What are your series about?
well, I have the two different series. These are mysteries primarily. That's what I like. That's what I write. The first is the Jamie Richmond series, and those are about an amateur sleuth. Jamie, the character, was an investigative reporter for one of the newspapers around Metro Detroit. And after doing that for a number of years and getting very good at getting to the bottom of the story and making a lot of contacts, now she's pursuing her passion of writing mysteries. But every time Jamie is working on a new book, while she's doing her research, she uncovers an actual crime. And Jamie is stubborn and determined, and she doesn't want anything to get in her way of solving these cases. So this is the first book in the series, and you can see Jamie is, yes, she's a redhead. She can be a little stubborn, but she's very good at figuring it out. She also starts a relationship with a fellow by the name of Malone, who is a state police trooper.
Oh,
And so there's a little connection with the police or the cops that way as well. And a bit of a romance because my first editor, when I started seriously writing, they
hmm.
said, "Look, you need to put some romance in these stories. Your last name is Love. People are going to be expecting that." I said, "Yeah, but I'm a guy. What do I know about romance?" He said, "The beauty here is that you're writing fiction, so you can make it up." I'm like, "Okay."
True.
So there are five books in the Jamie series. This is the second one. It's called Vanishing Act,
Hmm.
and book number three is called Fleeing Beauty. This
Oh.
was the first one our mutual friend Diana read, and she became enamored with my talents as a writer. Uh, all of my stories take place in the Metro Detroit area except for this one. I sent
Oh.
Jamie and her best friend on vacation to South Haven, Michigan, right
Oh.
over on the coast of on the shore of Lake Michigan there.
Mhm.
And she gets involved in a little mystery and a little vacation romance while she's there.
Oh.
And then this is the last book. Well, not well. This is the latest book in the series. Let's put
Okay.
because I don't think I'm done with this character. Chasing Favors. And this won an award when it was released in 2023 as Best Mystery.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, I was very pleased about that, very excited. And then, in addition to that series, I also write about a squad of detectives that work for the Michigan State Police, and they investigate major crimes that occur throughout the metropolitan Detroit area. Because
Oh.
Metro Detroit is over 6 million square miles, over 5
Oh,
million
wow.
people, and many of the local police departments don't necessarily share information with their neighboring departments.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, I learned that when I was working as a reporter for the Oakland Press, and that was something that really surprised me. But that gave me the idea to create this squad of detectives that work for the state police, and they have jurisdiction over the entire greater metropolitan area of Detroit. So, like the first book in this series is called Y319. This
Hmm.
this series is told from the point of view of the lead detective, whose name is Jefferson Chene.
Mm.
And a little tidbit about the backstory here. If you're not familiar with Detroit area, Metro has many streets, many areas that are based on the influence of the French that founded Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
There is an intersection, Jefferson Avenue and Chene Street. And
Oh, okay.
the backstory is this character was abandoned at birth, and that's where he was found. And due to a clerical error, instead of writing Baby Johnny Doe, they wrote down Jefferson Chene. And so, and
Nice.
yeah, so it works out really well. This is the second book of the series called Your Turn to Die.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a lot. And then book three in that series is called The Wayward Path. This is about a cold case investigation that really came together very nicely. Um, and now those are the series, and I have to pause for a second here and say that I don't. Somebody told me it's cross pollination, but I have characters from both series that will migrate into each other. So Jamie appears in two of the Jefferson Shane novels. Shane
Nice.
appears in one of hers, but then some of the other detectives that he works with also appear in Chasing Favors. So it's like this screwy family reunion kind of thing. You know, they all get together and we wait to see what happens. So that's going on. Now, I had the inspiration to do this. Actually, I was strongly encouraged by our good friend Diana to come up with a book that I could self publish last year so I
Mm-hmm.
could continue my streak of having a new book on the table. Well, I dusted off this beauty. It's called Rules of Desperation,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a little mystery. It's a little bit of a thriller. It's a little about a lawsuit. It's about trials. It's all kinds of fun. Uh, but that I was pleased to see that that won a silver award with Bookfest last year for mystery
Nice.
thriller. So I've actually won two awards for my writing so far, and I ain't done yet.
Well, that's good.
And
And
then
you have one more.
this is my baby. This one was
Ah.
just released last week. Um, I'm waiting for the real copies because this is a proof, so I could make sure
Mm-hmm.
it's ready. This is called Part Time Criminal, and this is a novella that
Okay.
I also decided to let's self publish this one. So now I've got 5 years in a row, I've got a new book on the table for the festivals. And this one came together quickly, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback on this, and it's a lot of fun to do. So
So you're not done writing,
oh,
and you've got so which series do you have a book coming out with next?
well, I
And
don't know. Actually, I'm working on a crime novel that probably won't tie in with either series, but there's a character that shows up in the second and third Jefferson Shane books. His name is Leo Agonasti. And he was, when Shane meets him, he's a retired mobster.
ah,
And he and his best friend are involved in books two and three. And I kept getting so many compliments about Leo and about this character because he wasn't a hitman. No, no, no. He was a background guy. He was kind of
mm,
laundering money type of thing.
okay.
And everybody wanted to learn more about Leo. And I thought, you know what? Let me take and move Leo back in time to when he was still active with organized crime and see what kind
Oh,
of mischief I can get him involved with. So I've been working on that, and I've got about, I want to say about 55,000 words in that novel so
okay.
far. And I want to try and hit about 80.
Okay.
And then when I get that where it's clean and done and ready to go, I've got a couple ideas in mind, so I may try and get that traditionally published as well, because my two series are actually with traditional publishers, smaller
Okay.
houses. But the Jamie Richmond series is with Inkspell Publishing,
Mhm.
and the Shane books are with Wild Rose Press. Uh,
Oh, okay.
so I guess I'm a hybrid. Or
Yes.
I've got some that are traditionally published and some that are self-published. But I just keep coming up with ideas for stories, and I want to have fun doing it and see where they
So with
go.
with that particular one that you're currently working on, are you gonna have it published through one of the houses that you're already through, or are you gonna go to a third
Well,
place?
there is a very well-known publishing house called Hard Case Crime. And
Okay.
since this particular novel that I'm working on is really got more of a crime bait to it,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to try and get that in with them. And if that happens, I will be doing a happy dance down Telegraph Road whenever I get there. But because I think that would just be phenomenal because that's a
Mm-hmm.
very large international house. And if I
Okay.
were to be able to put that with them, that
Mm-hmm.
could also trigger more interest for all of my other books when people
That's
discover
true.
this guy's a little crazy, but look what he can do, you know, and see where we go. So that would be my first shot with that if I can do that.
Okay.
Got a ways to go yet for that one.
So, any books for Shane or for the other one for Jamie that are coming down the pike anytime soon?
Yeah,
Or
actually, in the midst of working on the novella, I'm working on Part Time Criminal and
mm-hmm.
working on Aganasti's Dilemma, which is what I'm referring to, at least the working title for that.
Mm-hmm.
Kept getting ideas for a fourth Shane novel,
Oh,
and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but these characters won't leave me alone. I mean, Jamie, I have to admit, Jamie even makes a cameo appearance in Part Time Criminal.
oh,
Uh,
good.
so it was just, you know, somebody says, "Why do you do that?" I said, "Well, don't ask me, ask her. She won't leave me alone if I
She
don't."
just appears.
She's feeling neglected, and I don't want
Mm.
to have the wrath of a redhead coming after me. Well, if it'll placate her, I'll put her in a book, you know. But I do have ideas for at least two more Jamie Richmond stories. I've got well, the one that I started with Jefferson Chene, which would be the fourth novel, and I've got two or three more ideas for him. And of course, somebody keeps telling me that these standalone books that you're doing, these could be new series that you could be creating too.
Oh goodness. Gee, I wonder who keeps telling you that.
Who would say a thing like that? Yeah, I wonder.
Hmm.
So,
Name might start with a D.
ooh, doing a Vulcan mind meld here or something.
So you'd mentioned that you used to work for the papers.
Yes.
What do you do currently for a
Well,
job? Do you have
well,
a 9 to 5?
well, I think sometimes it's more than that. I teach at the local college over here in Kalamazoo County, and I always wanted to teach writing. That's one
Makes
subject that
sense.
I've never been able to teach. Well, I did teach a business writing class,
Mm.
but I teach one that's called transitional studies. It's really great for people that maybe are non-traditional students that are just now coming back to college after maybe starting a family or having a career and deciding, time to get back and get my schooling done, or maybe they weren't the best of students in high school, and it gives them a lot of the fundamentals that are necessary to be successful in college and in careers and in life. And I also teach a couple of business classes. Small business management is something that I've been teaching for a long time, and I have a lot of fun with that. And I really enjoy the interactions with the students and trying to get them engaged and get them thinking outside the box and try and do different things with it. So I'm in my 11th year of teaching over at the college now, which is remarkable because
Mm.
I they just keep calling me back. I said, okay.
You'll retire when they quit calling?
My wife has a statement. Well, she used to jokingly say, "You can retire when you're 3 days dead." Uh, until then, I expect you to keep working. So, um,
So what do you have any hobbies outside of writing and work?
oh, I love to read, and I enjoy, movies, TV, exercise quite a bit when I can. And one of the things I like, I live in the Kalamazoo area over here, And so there's a lot of great hiking trails that you can go
Mm.
on. We're not that far from Lake Michigan and run over to
Yeah.
South Haven when it's nice.
Ooh, yeah.
Go over there for a day and see what, just sit on the beach and relax and enjoy the fresh air and that. And one of the things we discovered when we moved to this side of the state is there are a large number of wineries in
Oh.
West Michigan. And once in a while, we'll just decide to stop in a winery and, sample a few glasses and
Hey.
buy a bottle or two, and, we're good. So it's a
Ve
really nice area. So,
very good. Well, I am looking forward to seeing you at the end of June, live and in person in Novi.
yes, indeed. I'm really looking forward to that too, Mandy Joe. I think this is going to be a great show. Got a lot of different talented authors that are going to be there and some other features as well. And it'll be a great opportunity to interact with readers from the metro area.
And they can buy your books that are about the metro area, or at least featured in the metro
Yeah,
area.
all like I said, I think all of my books except for Stealing Haven take place in the metropolitan Detroit area. So you might see some landmarks that you recognize. I've had people that have reached out to me and say, "I've been to this restaurant. I know this place. It's got great food. Great, I like it." And of course, the Renaissance Center downtown,
Mm.
Comerica Park, Ford Field. These are all featured in there, along with a few of my old favorite stopping grounds. They just kind of show up.
That's a good thing. Well,
Yes,
I
indeed.
will see you in June. Thanks for coming on, Mark.
My pleasure, Mandy Joe. It's great to see you, and I'll look forward to seeing you again in June. Thanks.